Dark Match, a Shudder exclusive. Hold on, let me make sure I get that actor's name right. It's Joey C. I don't know how you're not calling it out right now. Stephen Ogg stars in this film.
Oh, Trevor? Yeah.
AKA Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5. I love
If you want to piss him off, just say Trevor.
Really? He gets pissed?
He fucking hates it.
But that's like his biggest role of all time.
I know, and he hates being dude, I was in line to see him one year at Comic-Con, and he flipped on somebody in front of me because they just kept saying Trevor.
Well, were they saying anything else, or were they just saying the name Trevor over?
No, they were like, "Oh, Trevor, I love you so much, Trevor," and the guy was like, "God damn it, I'm known for more," and I was like, "Oh God."
Known for what? Dark Match?
Literally. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen Ogg and Aisha Isa. I don't know if I butchered that. Isa and Chris Jericho. Tells the story of a small wrestling promotion that gets invited to perform at some guy's like house, really, his compound.
Yeah.
In a dark match. A dark match is an untelevised match, even though they are being recorded during this film. And it turns out that these are satanic like worshippers. They're like an evil cult, and the wrestling matches end with death. They really spring this on the wrestlers. It's part of some ancient ritual to awaken Satan, but also Chris Jericho's kind of got his own like revenge plan going into this. And yeah, they got to figure out a way to break out of the compound and survive these deadly wrestling matches. Joey, did you just throw a cheese ball in the air, try to catch it with your mouth, and it missed?
No.
Oh, good.
You guys fucking saw that? Pay attention to the movie. Come on now, man.
Well, I was getting to the part where I'm like, well, let's go down the list. And I saw that.
I got cheese in my eye.
Anyway, Crystal, you texted me about this movie, and I think I'm going to wager a bet that you probably liked it the most out of all of us. What did you think of Dark Match?
I loved it so much.
Tony, you're always picking shitty movies, and also I really like Dark Match.
But it's meant to be like this. You can't go in and be like, this is an artsy classic, horror film. Like, what the fuck?
No, when I see Chris Jericho, I usually throw those expectations out the window.
Yes. It's supposed to be this late 80s, like, wrestling, corny as hell, but fun. I wasn't bored at all whatsoever. The kills were great, super gory. The story wasn't insane. I would say the very last scene was threw me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't expect.
Okay, that was I wasn't expecting that, and didn't exactly love it, but it didn't ruin. Hi.
Oh my god! You just got attacked by a cat.
He's super needy right now. I thought it was so much fun, though. I really, really did. And the story was good. There was still substance to the story, to the plot, to the characters. It wasn't badly acted either.
It was okay. Jericho's not the best. The other ones are good.
Yeah, him crying over his daughter,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
My daughter. My daughter.
My daughter.
Well, because they needed us to know that it's his daughter. So.
Wait, was that his daughter? I had no
idea. It was.
Yeah.
It was. I loved it. It was fun. I'm gonna just keep saying that over and over. That's what I think.
I will say real quick, the director of this is the guy who directed Wolf Cop, which I've never actually seen, but flashback years ago when he was like promoting Wolf Cop, like 2 years before it came out. I was doing Mummy Cop at the time, and we would get into like playful, like friendly battles on Twitter where I would like just shit on Wolf Cop and he would fire back. I don't even know if those are even around anymore. I still have never seen Wolf Cop or the sequel. But yes, Joey C as probably the other man on the show who likes wrestling. What did you think of Dark Match?
I think the best part of this movie was, so I used to date an AEW wrestler who I will not name, and they FaceTimed Jericho in
I
my
bet it
living
was
room.
a pretty sexy lady one, right?
Yeah. And they FaceTimed Jericho in my living room, which was wild. And he was wearing that same hat, which
Oh.
I wonder if that's the same hat. A wrestling, satanic, violent movie was not what I thought this was. I didn't even know it was a wrestling movie. And I think it was better than it should have been. It was grungy. And I think like any fan of like 80s and 90s wrestling should definitely watch it. I think the idea of the plot is sick. But and this movie really tickles me, but I feel like it has like immense potential, but I don't think it was executed that well. If that makes sense.
I'm kind of in the boat with you, and I can't believe you revealed that you slept with Britt Baker, and that's why she's leaving Adam Page. But I mean, kudos. Britt Baker is like gorgeous. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Of course, that's it. That's right.
Right.
The Hell in the Cell though was the Inferno match part was fucking sick.
Yeah, that is like a real match.
Every single one.
That was so fucking cool.
I wish the water one was a little bit more interesting, to be honest.
I didn't get the fan one, to be honest, where they were like, "Are you serious?" I was like, well, it's a fan.
Oh
like, what's
yeah, the
big
fan
deal?
didn't do anything.
Everyone kept freaking out, and they kept drawing attention to it, like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And I'm like, it's a fan. I don't
it's
really
like,
see
just
the
don't
big
fall
deal.
in the fan. Try your best.
They made a bigger deal of like, there's a fan than like when people started getting killed. It was just kind of like, whatever. But the fan was
everyone's
like,
under agreement. Like,
they must have blown the whole budget on like, we need a big fan in the ring.
But I also liked how like there were talks of like keeping kayfabe like in and out of the match. That was really fucking
the
cool.
luchador keeps kayfabe
like
the
that.
entire movie until the end, and his only line of dialogue is kayfabe. I love that.
All my useless wrestling knowledge finally made sense in a movie.
It really did.
It's sick.
I like the double meaning of the name, like dark match, untelevised match, but also there's dark stuff happening. Gil, what did you think of dark match?
Joey, I agree with what you said 100%, which is this movie is way better than I expected it to be going in. I feel like the first half, it genuinely is taking itself seriously. Like the actors are putting in the effort. There is genuine tension between the characters and interpersonal drama. And I feel like, I mean, the movie gets automatic points for me just because it's subject matter I'm interested in, which is just anything about cults. If it's a horror about cults, I'm automatically on board. And then making it about like a group of wrestlers, it's not the usual protagonists for a horror movie. So I was intrigued. And I didn't know what a dark match was. I don't know anything about wrestling. So I had like Google open next to the movie as I was watching it. I was like, what the hell is kayfabe? And I didn't know what a dark match was. And when I found out, I'm like, it's like non-televised. It's not recorded or broadcast. I was like, that's such a cool idea to incorporate into a horror. I felt like once the turn happened and it went into the second half of the movie, it was a little bit underwhelming. It's kind of like I was joking about the fan thing, but I feel like a lot of the reveals were kind of bland, where people are being killed and there should be tension and like, holy crap. But instead it was just like, whatever, it's happening. And I feel like the characters' reactions to all that, it was a little inconsistent, where sometimes they were more nonchalant than I thought they should be. Other times they were freaking out, crying, but then in the next scene they're dry-eyed and like back to nonchalant. So it was all just, and you could say, oh, it's just for fun, like whatever. But I felt like the first half it was slightly more than that, and I feel like there was potential for this to be like it was fun. I feel like it could have been really fun, but I had a good time with it. If the subject matter appeals to you, I think it is worth watching.
I agree with you. The second half really lost me. I was like intrigued for the first half. But I don't know. So the wrestling matches didn't really wow me.
Yeah.
The idea, like you said, the idea is really cool, but the execution with all like the death like matches and stuff, I feel like could have been a little bit better. Jericho like is supposed to be the leader of this cult, but then he goes off book and changes his whole motivation. And so then it's like, who are the bad guys again? Is it Jericho or is it these other two over here? I'm not really sure who the main threat is anymore.
Stayed the whole time. He was the bad guy. He didn't really care about the cult. His whole thing was more.
But he's the leader. That's why I thought it was weird.
It felt like he was a leader just so he could do this. Like he actually didn't really believe it. It was more about
well, then
revenge.
he's the
Yeah.
what a huge coincidence. The ending.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there was
Yeah.
someone from the way I took it was because someone else was doing the chanting. So with the cult members truly believing it, he didn't, but there was a cult member that truly did that ended up doing like the seance or what the chant.
Or he could have believed it, but once his daughter died, like grief just hit him too hard.
I had less of a problem. I thought all that logic, like Crystal, everything you laid out, I was like, that made sense to me. I had more of a problem with just the way it was revealed. There was no like slow roll of like we're figuring out more stuff as the movie goes. It was more like Stephen Ogg's character just kept remembering stuff. Like, wait, I know him. He was into this cult stuff, but he's just taking advantage. It was just characters would remember something and then spell it out. There was no like, oh, and like slowly figuring things out.
I think it wasn't meant for thinking.
That's probably true.
It was just like a grungy wrestling. Here's some blood. Here's some wrestling. Just grungy stuff. Bad movie. Like good bad movie.
Some of the matches look like the like little inserts they do in what's that, Joey? What's the wrestling show that's all about tragic wrestling stuff?
Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, that's exactly
Some of it was
what
filled
it
like
looks
that.
like.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Which I gotta catch up on that show. I really like that show.
So good. I literally cried watching the China one.
Dude, the New Jack episode. He was still alive when the episode aired, so it was a lot of fun. But like,
that is true. Yeah, that was a good episode.
Oh, New Jack was great.
Yeah, he was fucking man.
But yeah, look, it's if you have Shudder AMC Plus, it's fine. It's fine and fun. I guess I just wanted it to maybe be a little bit more wacky or more serious. The whole like shift between the first and second half of the film just doesn't work for me too much. Also, I was expecting like more wrestlers in here, but were any of these guys wrestlers other than Jericho?
I don't think so. I didn't recognize anybody.
Well,
At
it
least
doesn't exactly seem very big budget there. So Chris
Well, I
Jericho
mean,
was the one.
look, Kid Osborne does this show for free, so how hard could wrestlers be?
We all
I
do
didn't
it
say
for
they had to be
free.
big wrestlers. I just said, are they wrestlers?
You said we do it for free. I was going to say, well, we do it for, promotion. But the second I
No.
tried to even self-promote at all.
We do this for Tony. It's our community service, basically. I've been doing it for too many years.
Gil, stop reminding people that you have a channel. Take that one take subtitle off. Gil, you act like you're owed so much. What have you done for me lately except for drive down from New York to shoot an emergency episode last minute? Huh? What have you done for me lately?
And I was like, Tony, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Can we reschedule? And you're like, Gil, Daredevil is blind and he
I
fights
literally
crime.
called Gil because he's like, my throat hurts. Is there any way we can delay this? I'm like, blindness doesn't stop Daredevil. A sore throat shouldn't stop you.
Yeah, I was like, this is
and
definitely
also,
the
there's
same.
no room on the calendar. It has to be tomorrow. But yeah, I guess check it out. Next up,